Hi. All right. So today I am going to be talking about my biggest insecurity. I've touched on it a little bit, but it's my hearing loss. My hearing loss is was my biggest insecurity all my life. All my life. And it was my therapist that helped me fully let go of all the doubts and the shame and the fears behind my hearing loss. I'm so thankful for that session. So this video is just going to be talking about the session that set me free. Completely set me free. So this session was a while back, but it is a moment in time that I will always remember because it was after this session that I truly feel like I bloomed from within. I felt more accepting of myself, and I just felt free. I felt so free. And it has just been a beautiful wave since that session. So, just a little background. I mentioned it in the other video, but I am hard of hearing. I have been hard of hearing all my life. I had scarlet fever when I was 2, and that caused my hearing damage in both ears. My level of hearing is moderate to severe, bordering on severe. I have been wearing hearing aids since I was 5, off and on, all through grade school. I didn't get consistent with wearing hearing aids until my mid 20s. I did not, I cared a little less about, wearing behind the ear hearing aids. I would say not until my late 20s. And here I am in my early 30s where I am now fully accepting of my hearing loss and the fact that I wear hearing aids and no longer being ashamed of wearing hearing aids. I get another pair this week that I'm really looking forward to because now I'm at a point in my life where I want to expand my horizons. I want to step out of my shell, come out of my comfort zone, interact with more people, network a little bit, just get out. I feel the need to want to interact with people and still practice solitude because, yes, it's necessary. But no, yeah, I really do want to get to know more people. And, now being unashamed of wearing hearing aids and being able to introduce myself and announce fully with my chest out that I'm hard of hearing. And just the feeling of knowing that there's nothing wrong with that statement compared to just even last year. But there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm, I'm good. And I just look forward to that now. I look forward to getting this hearing aids. I look forward to putting them in my ears. I look forward to being more of myself. And I'm excited, I'm excited for that. So this session, we did shadow work. I think that's what it's called, when we're reaching out to our inner child, our younger selves. And when she told me like what this was about and everything and what we were going to do, I wasn't feeling it at all. I had never really thought about bad experiences as a child. I look back at my childhood as, playing with my siblings, running up and down the streets to my grandma's house, or around the corner to my childhood friend's home, and running in the alley, climbing trees, just, playing in the sand, riding my bikes, going to the beach. Like I stick to the good stuff. A lot of times you don't really want to think about bad stuff. You don't want to think about bad feelings or bad experiences or any of that stuff. No, like, so to purposely, willingly go and open those doors, I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So I kind of was like, I don't know at first. But she assured me that it would be worth doing. And she wasn't wrong. So it all started with me as a grown person. I was talking about a situation with an interaction with another person. And I want to say that either I had said that I had to repeat myself one too many times to ask them to either talk a little louder for me, or that the person got agitated because I couldn't hear them. It somewhere around those lines that I was talking about a situation that had triggered me, in a sense of, because when it comes to those kind of interactions, and I've had millions of them all my life, is that, being hard of hearing, and like, I'll just give you a couple of examples of situations that I find myself in as a hard of hearing person. So you have, like, what, COVID was like the biggest anxiety inducing time for me, because we were all wearing masks, and being a hard of hearing person, I read lips. So I feel like during that year when everything had shut down and we were all wearing masks to go to the grocery stores and all this other stuff, I made it a point of not having to ask for any questions or ask for help looking for something, whatever, because I could not understand anybody. I mean, the bank teller, whoever, it was just so effing sucky. And it was just like a state of anxiety for me, and I just couldn't deal, because when I can't hear, it just taps into all of the bad feelings. And so I stay home, which I have never minded that anyway. So that's one thing. Or I'm in front of someone and they're talking. Now, if I don't hear you, I'll say, I didn't quite catch that. Can you say that again? And now it'll be repeated. But this is the thing. If it's repeated, they either use the same tone of voice, or um they they will come back with, how did you not hear what I just said? Or like, or I'm from this close to you, how can you not hear what I just, that kind of shit and stuff. And it just gets to be too much. And like the office, because I work in an office environment, but thankfully I listen to music all day. We can listen to music. I listen to music all day. I don't talk to anyone because I absolutely can't hear nothing in there. And especially when it's all like, so do you think you can do it? You can forget it. Okay. And I'm so thankful that we have chat. So because we have chat, most of my supervisors and whoever, they just send me a chat about whatever is going on, and that be that. I've had situations where like I felt embarrassed um in public because, you know, like my family knows I'm hard of hearing. So when I've come in situations, and it's happened a couple of times, come into situations where like I'm questioned because I didn't get a direction right, or I'm questioned because we're out in public and I missed what the service person said. And I feel like I'm questioned in a way that it is negative. And when it's negative coming from my family, it hurts even more because they know already. Or, I've had people that are aware that I'm hard of hearing and purposely, you know, talk from behind me, and I can't hear. It's just a lie. It's just a lot of scenarios and a lifetime of those scenarios. So I mean, you are bound to feel inadequate, um, and you just don't feel good enough. And so I carried those kind of interactions and the feelings behind those interactions with me for so long. So yeah, I mean, I would never deny that there was a deeply seated shame in inside of me, surrounding my hearing loss. You know, so all of those, yeah, just and just imagine, those are just a few scenarios, but repeatedly, and we're talking over 30 years worth of those experiences. So when she asked me to, go inside myself and tap into younger Brandy, when all of this started, and I would say I was probably in middle school, to describe what that was like and what those feelings were like, and that's really what I could sum it up to. It's feeling of being not enough and not welcome because I'm lacking. And it was like lacking something very fundamental or like necessary to be a part of society, because I mean it's one of the five major senses. So yeah, I feel like, I have just tapped into that mindset in this moment, and don't, I'm not feeling it. But we'll continue. So, in this session, reached out to my younger self, and she asked me what did she need and what would I do as the adult version to comfort the little girl version of myself. And and I'm talking as I'm describing this whole scene playing out right before me. I mean, so easily, so fluid. And it's just rolled out of me. I mean, it just came out. And so I got to use that moment to give my younger self the love and comfort and reassurance that she did not get. I was able to do that for her then. And it's like as I was talking through the scene and just really trying to explain what telling her that meant for me is something I can't quite put into words. But I felt like if I could describe it, it was like, how you have like, it was just like a crack. It was just like a crack in my, and I can't even really say in my chest, but so I'll just say in my spirit. And you could see like glimmers of light peeking through. And so as I started to imagine hugging her and reassuring her and even sharing like some positive affirmations with her, it's like kind of just holding her and just whispering these things in her ear. And it just felt like the cracks were getting bigger and more light was shining through until it burst wide open. And I just felt light. There was just like a switch. And I'm telling you, I can't give the feeling the adequate words it needs. But I will say that session, it took everything out of me. It took everything out of me. When I say that I felt weightless, and that's why I say like I didn't know how much stuff was packed behind this wall. And I mean just filled to the brim with self-loathe and just worthlessness and shame and just doubts and fears, and all of it just came flooding out in that moment with my younger self, giving myself in over into this moment and really taking it serious and taking it in and participating in it. And I'm so thankful that I got out of my own head about what we were doing and just went with it, you know. So yeah, it was super intense. But I recovered for the rest of that weekend, just sitting in my room and just kind of just laying there and just looking up and just like, you know how I felt like I could just melt into the bed. Like I just felt like, oh my, it was beautiful. And I'm so thankful. And that session has me right where I am today, where I'm able to say that I am perfect as I am. I have nothing to be ashamed of. My hearing loss is out of my control. It's something that happened to me. I can go out here and be my full self, and I can tell someone that I am hard of hearing and repeat that until they get it and not feel bad for the stuff that I miss. I know I'm not a bad person. I'm not malicious. I don't, you know, go out to intentionally make someone feel ignored. I am none of those things, and they don't define me. I am a woman and I am hard of hearing, and I can say that with my whole chest and feel proud that I'm able to do that now. I know I'm getting excited, but it's just like, oh my God, it was just such a relief. It's nothing to hide from. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I am me, and it's all I can be. Take me as I am. I love that song by Mary. But yeah, so I am ready to get my new hearing aids so that it adds on to all that I am. I just feel like I can do anything. I feel like I could do anything. And I'm no longer embarrassed about it. So this video ended up being way longer than I intended, but it feels like it was necessary. So until next time,